we were waiting.
And then she said,
"Hello, Johnny." Yeah, we were all waiting for the start then because it never happens. Hello, Johnny. I said I'd wait to tell this story before we went.
Stephen's in the comments. Hi, Stephen.
Yeah, I said, and he's there as well. He's multifaceted.
That's a good idea. We can go. That'll make it look like I've got more people watching with 3 instead of.
We had the comments. Absolutely, yeah. We've got nobody watching according to this, but that would suggest that Johnny's there. Oh, now 2 people are magically there. Hello, 2 people. Yeah, I thought, it's not working very well. Oh, is it Chrome? Right, I thought, right, I'll use the Microsoft browser. Yeah, what's going on? I was thinking, A, what's it called? And B, where is it? What is the logo for it? Edge. I couldn't remember either of those.
So things. Memorable. The AI will do it all for you on Edge. It's fantastic.
I don't use it. I'll have to use it.
Oh, come on. We know that this entire show's AI. We're all creations of some giant array of data centers somewhere.
It's funny in some ways that you should say that, because you know the little, it made those shorts. They are suddenly, which I've posted up, they are suddenly the most successful videos. Anyway,
they've been popping up. I've been getting notifications about these little shorts, so they're going out to everyone.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, the internet. Oh, the wonders of the internet. Oh, the wonders of YouTube and all these other things. Now, I sat down thinking, nothing's happened this week. And then I looked and thought, actually, no, quite a bit's actually happened this week. So let's start going into that. Quite a bit's happened this week. Let's go here. This is the unpreparedness part of it. And then under there, it takes forever to do that. So in the UK, first conviction for flying drone over an emergency response, which is, when all's said and done, they deserve it. It's a bloody stupid thing to do. You don't get all the nuns and as you're watching this. Hello, Rev.
I'm trying to make it sound like we've got more visitors than we have, more viewers than we have.
Yes, exactly. But that's like getting in the way of an ambulance or something, isn't it? You just don't do it. It's just you just don't do it.
No, you don't. But I think that I've been saying that all of the people that are flying drones at the moment, everyone's fighting to get the best shot now, because everyone's done everything. Everything's been done, and everyone's looking for something a bit different, and that means that if they can get their 5 minutes of fame and sell it to the TV, then
put it on TikTok.
Yeah, because
the thing that I think is it's not a clever thing to do, but is it any more dangerous than flying an Amazon drone over your head and hitting a building? I think that they're overstating the risks. Not to say that the risks aren't considerable, but they've got to be careful that they don't make this sound like anyone who flies a drone near an emergency thing will bring down helicopters as a given. We've got to put things in perspective and do a reasonable risk assessment. And it doesn't necessarily mean people are going to die because you fly over a thing like that. So we've got to say, and there are other reasons as well as simple safety. It's because I fear that if you do the sky is falling thing too much, people will go, look, people have been doing it. So look, here's people got fined. Nothing happened. They just got fined. So we have to come up with reasons to convince them that the culture should prevent them from doing it as much as the headlines.
Yeah. Well, in the first brush, to me, that's exactly what this is, a cultural thing. It's an emergency. Don't fly over it. No need to.
I know people who fly for the air ambulance here, and they, when they have to go to an emergency, like an emergency situation, if it's like a car crash or something, and there is someone flying a drone, and then they're told to just about turn because they're told to go back to base because there's or actually hover around, try to circle the area because there's a drone flying. So I mean, in reality, this actually does happen. Also, at the same time, I was also going to say something, and then I completely forget what it was.
Join the Dementia Club.
Yeah, I know. it was just.
I've lost my membership card. I don't know where it is.
I can't remember if I had one.
But I think more you know, the people just understand that they shouldn't be flying because you know, and it's not that it's just this is what I was going to say. When I was in the UK last year, I was talking with someone from the London Fire Brigade, and because when I was flying Hyde Park, and the guy came up and said, "Oh, it's really good to see drone, people using drones that are, that are sensible and stuff." I says, "Why?" He says, "Because we get stalkers. Actually, there's people who follow the fire brigade who go there and who always put up a drone. They also have drones that they use to assess the area. So sometimes they can't put up their drones because there's someone else flying a drone." And of course, they don't have the time or the manpower to go and find out who it is and where they are. So they just put their drone down. So again, it is putting people's lives at risk. It's putting, the workers at risk because they're using the drones to see if it's safe to go into any certain places and stuff like that. People just shouldn't fly their drones. Again, as you say, it's a culture thing, but it's just safety. Just don't do it.
Yeah. It's not even that directly you might injure someone. It's that you're preventing others from saving people.
Yeah.
It's but as Sticky quite correctly says, there's 17 other charges. So I mean, the headline one is they got him for flying over this incident, but it seems like
he was a good boy, really.
Well, and just how is it really exciting footage from whatever he's done?
No, it's not.
You've seen one fire. You've seen them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone wrote in one of my comments, because I made a video about this, and someone wrote in one of my comments that they should have spent, they should have not been dealing with the drone operator. They should have been dealing with the person who started the fire. And I was like,
they had him his ass in a sling.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Gary said his first outage for the day. That's good, isn't it?
So I saw was going, I came back. I went away and came back, but not for long.
No.
I also saw somebody else was saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't much money. It was worth it for that £2,800 in total." Well, that's quite a chunk of change. That
did they use that footage of the media?
I don't know.
Because I wonder if they actually used it. In which case, surely the media would be culpable too if you're getting the results of a proceeds of crime,
But that's a good point, Bruce, as well. That is a good point, because the authorities should also be saying to the media companies that you shouldn't be buying this footage from drone operators unless they have had permission to do that, because they are being culpable for that and they are promoting it, and it's not a good thing. And of course, the news want to get, the headlines. They want to get, people to click on things, but it is irresponsible of the media companies to actually take that footage without the permission of whoever it is that was, in charge of the area there. So,
yeah.
But then it's culpable deniability, isn't it? Even if they have had a slight arrangement that's what they're going to do. It's no, I didn't know that. Have an update from Snowdrone, airspace demos. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that update. I'll have a look. It's probably going to be something like "we're not doing it" or something like that. I'll look for that in a minute. But as you know, I'm not good at multitasking, so I won't be able to.
Or single tasking.
And what's even more annoying is I can't quickly copy and paste that comment. I can put the user in timeout, delete comment, and ban the user, but I can't just copy things. That's no good. So somebody said that wasn't much of a fine. Over in America, they've said, "Oh no, we'll get you into trouble now." So they've specifically said emergency sites, restricted airspace, and public safety, and they've said
felony.
75k,
and a felony charge on the second attempt.
Yeah.
Put you in a big room with Bubba on the soap on a rope stuff. Not fun.
Look what comes up underneath the operator charge. Yeah, look at that. That part of the site works at least. That's I forgot to do. I knew what I was going to do at the start of this. Everything I've watched recently, before anyone talks about anything, before they talk about any news or talk about anything, they remind the dear viewer to like, subscribe, and to follow us on our other thing, which would be SUS News in this case. And I have to talk about this for about 5 minutes.
Are we on YouTube?
Yeah, apparently. But we're not on LinkedIn. We've had a message to say that LinkedIn's broken.
It's not been acting well today at all. I have been promoting your channel on my channel. I've been putting the link to the news on my last video.
That's very good of you. That's very, very good of you. I just forget to do this thing, which apparently I'm supposed to do.
I think we need to have a walk around to hire a bot farm in the Philippines to give us more views.
Why in the Philippines? That's where the better ones are or something?
India, somewhere like that?
In America. But anyway, no one rose to that bait.
Speaking of bot farms, we've seen these robots in China and that now they're doing the gymnastics and everything. And, all this, and where's Elon? Is his one still falling over when they take the covers off it, or what's going on?
Is this really one reason? But is this not one reason why they're really pushing away from China? Is because they just want to ignore what they're doing? Because you know, not only did you have, because this is obviously Chinese New Year this week, so you have all these events and stuff, and you have the robots,
massive drone light show,
which was done by EHang.
Yes, all that. The 16-seater drones.
Well, and also the 16-seater drones. They were
22,000 of them.
22,580.
Imagine being the person whose job it was to count all those.
Actually, it would be no good. Actually, it would be the Guinness. Actually, would be Guinness that would do that. They have to have someone, and they have an independent person who's not connected with the company, and they have to count them to see. And not only that, but they have to reaffirm that they're in the air. So they have to count if there's any drones on the ground. So that's how they know.
Surely they could take a picture and count it later.
Well, maybe. Well, pull up a sandbag. I worked in a cheese factory once, and I got promoted up to the
way.
Top. I did. Did, you know. Yeah, I know you did that. See who did that.
Why are we talking about robots and not the cheese factory?
Well, exactly. Well, no, you said about counting them. I got to the top position of counting the cheese because folks would, and I had to go up on the forks of the forklift up to the very top of this big stack of cheeses in big pallets of 20-kilo boxes and walk to the back and look for holes and count all the ones at the back, because people used to go up there and nick a 20-kilo block of cheese.
So you were a counter of cheese?
I was.
Could you be a Counter-UAS as well?
I don't know. I counted cheese. Well, I think it's, it was a top-notch job in the cheese. It really was.
Did you have a dog called Gromit?
No, but that's what I did in the first Gulf War. I counted cheese.
They also serve those who stay at home and count cheese.
Exactly. And you chaps wonder why you don't have 50,000 viewers. How very dare you? How very, very dare you? I don't wonder. I know.
Yeah. So we're a few short. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. They're not the people we want. We want quality viewers like you lot. Oh, sorry, there's a new one. Sorry, new person in the comments. If you're expecting sense here. But I think Simon did Sticky Drone did put in Elon Musk, SpaceX enters 100 million drone technology race. Meh? I think meh.
Yeah. Nah, they're already here. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think it's that exciting a thing.
No, if he was making an equivalent to the Mini 5, then we'd all be excited.
Yeah, basically. But all he's going to make is just a simple X with some sort of.
And his competition's Red Cat, goodness, or Unusual Machines. It's not really much, is it?
No. Also in there's not much news this week. There was
end of life.
Robotics Raptor end of life.
Finally. The first death as a result of drone flying.
Well, it's interesting that they're no longer available due to several component shortages.
No, they're no longer available because of American regulations. the government.
No, it says due to several component shortages, mandatory for further production.
Well, I can say that we contacted, we contacted Randall about 3-4 months ago to discuss about getting the API for the SDK so that we could put it onto Drone Bundle. And he told us immediately that it has been discontinued. So this is not something new. This has been on the plan for quite some time.
Yeah, he's I spoke to him yesterday, and he's unavailable now. I've forgotten where he is to come on this week, but he'll try and come on next week and tell us, because I'm quite intrigued. He spotted a little niche, didn't he? And he got in there, and it worked. And no doubt he's got some other little niche in mind now. So I'm intrigued to wonder what what his thinking is, because again, with people like Elon jumping in, then that would seem a bit of a mountain to climb, wouldn't it? But I would trust Randall over Elon all day long. And to get it right. So we'll have to see on that one. Now, here we are. This one. I'm disappointed that the drone community didn't pick this up and run with this one a little bit harder. And I also know that Ian's doing something now. I was hoping he'd be here by now, but he's doing a thing right now.
He's probably making AI music and trying to make a little movie or something.
Yeah.
Wastes his time.
No, it's Mr. DeMills or whatever the saying is. But for those of you that didn't capture, and the reason I said the drone press should have caught this was it was exactly what we've been saying, that something will happen with this Counter-UAS gear that will cause an issue. And it's exactly what, and I didn't explain it very well in this.
Yeah, but it's the world's leading drone press have already written an article. Here it is.
Oh, yeah, there we are. There we are. But yeah, that's very kind of you. Thank you. In England, the NPCC are flying their drone in a box trials, and they're doing it as a state aircraft, and the Civil Aviation Authority is therefore not completely involved in the whole situation. So when they started doing these trials, the CAA had to, for other air user safety, put in temporary danger areas. That's what they had to do. Had to be. It's the only thing the regulator could do. The same thing has happened with this. Where was it? I've forgotten where it was. Was I still here, or did it go away?
America's a big place. It was somewhere in America.
It was in America Shire, and somewhere in America.
It was like a small area. It was like a small airport, wasn't it? It wasn't a big.
It was near the border because they were talking about Mexican drones, weren't they?
Mexicans, yeah.
But so you have your airfield for said small town, and right next to your airfield, you have a military base. And at the military base, they've got one of these. And the lads mucking about in this detect something, and then they shoot it down. And the something turns out to be a toy balloon. And the FAA said, "Whoa, stop what you're doing! Stop what you're doing!" and they shut the airspace down for 10 days. El Paso, thanks very much.
Yes.
They shut the airspace because they didn't know what the heck they were doing, and it's just the same as the civil aviation in the UK and the NPCC. Is this you can't fault the regulator for doing it. And they shot down a toy balloon with this directed energy weapon. I mean, you couldn't make it up, and it's exactly what we've been saying was going to happen. There's something's okay. In this case, it was a toy balloon, but it could have been worse. It got a bit trigger happy.
There's some very disappointed child somewhere, though.
Exactly. Oh my, that was impressive. You let it go outside Burger King or something like that. It's streaming, boom, wow.
If you think of the amount of small aircraft that are not broadcasting ADS-B, for example, so if they wouldn't show up on the radar and they would shoot that down, for example. Okay, I mean, if it's a drone and they did shoot it down, of course, then you have to deal with what's on the ground and is there going to be any damage. If it's a balloon, there's going to be no damage on the ground. But if they shoot down a small airplane, then of course that
I would love to know if they'd checked for a remote ID signal before they fired.
Oh, there's a whole chain of what did they check before they fired, isn't there? I mean,
it's not on Flight Radar 24. Blow it down, knock it down.
Exactly my point as well about things is that not everything is on Flight Radar 24.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
I see that here when the police helicopter flies over here. It comes up on the ADSB alarm, but it's not on Flight Radar 24.
Yeah.
And somebody on the place where I argue, wow, so Ian's Jackanory was right. Mylar. What do you mean Ian's Jackanory was right? No, it's true. That is what happened. Well, I think he means Ian's Jackanory about something being shot down. Yeah. It's it beggars belief. And the regulator had to shut down the airspace. What other option did they have?
Yeah.
Until they knew what was happening. And that was quickly spun up as no, they were shooting down drones over the border. No,
but the military isn't under the control of the FAA, is it? It has its own jurisdiction.
Well, this is exactly the problem. The same with the NPCC in England. Yeah. They're not under the direct control of the CAA.
It's like the police can shoot people, but we can't. They got special privileges.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're not wrong, but
it depends, though. It depends.
Well, no, they can shoot them. It just depends whether they get away with it, whether it's legal or not. But if you walk outside with a gun on your hip in most countries, you get arrested. But the police, they do it all the time.
Yes,
it's accepted as a it's a privilege they have. And with the military, well, they can do what the hell they like because they're protecting their country, national security.
Yeah, but I was having a chat with another friend of mine, and you kind of know exactly the story. It's two 18 and 19-year-old Irks in there mucking about like I would have been. It's exactly what I would have been doing if I wasn't there. And you could see, you mentioned checklists and chain of command and all these things happening. That's what it would have been. It would have been.
I think they had a transcript, didn't they? And the last words they said, "What does this button do?" That was it.
Well, yeah. Oh God! Another very quick pull up a sandbag for me. When my parents came to first open day, where I was being a controller and doing all the things, I ended up getting ribbed mercilessly by my colleague because my mother said, "Don't touch that. You don't know what you're doing." Yeah, you're probably right there, Mum. But yeah, you can write that story writes itself really. Look out, he's coming. We'll bring him on.
Oh, no, because he wants to tell us about how they've used police helicopter footage and pretending it's drone footage. Yeah, that's his big thing at the moment. He's just plastered all over X. X is completely filled with that.
Look, he's doing his.
I know he gets around
building up. It's like a build-up routine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
there we go.
Building attention. There he is.
Oh, he looks buffered, eh?
After a million. Oh, he's been buffed. Oh, I see. That's what's happening there. So it's a good job you're here for this one. Maybe you saw we were talking about this, but this is what you said was going to happen. Something shoots something down.
Yeah. We're lucky it's just balloons, aren't we? Although it's kind of funny that it's that accurate, yet it's that accurate without them being aware they were shooting a balloon, which is the bizarre thing. Because you think if you were being that precise, you'd be looking at a camera image of it and you'd be going, oh, wait a minute, that's a balloon. We don't need to shoot it. So that's a bit I find a little bit unusual because
there's no camera on that thing, is there? There's no turret for a camera. I'm looking.
I got to say the Germans were lucky they didn't have that when they were, threatening with the Hindenburgs. What are they? The Zeppelins. The Zeppelins.
Yeah,
would have been great against the Zeppelins.
It would have been.
I'm going to say if it doesn't have a camera, that would worry me. But I'm just saying, if
can
it
you
has,
see one?
How exactly is it detected it? Because you can't have much of a radar profile. You're not going to have any RF from
It's a Mylar balloon. It bounced some back. They said that metallized Mylar,
Yeah. And it probably returns a very similar return to a Phantom or whatever.
Oh, so you think it might have actually? Well, I don't know. Would radar get you the exact precision of that though? Because normally the radar and counter drone that is used to pan tilt zoom head, which then uses the tracking to direct.
But this is military.
we say lasers, but they say directed energy.
Laser.
The term they
Well,
use.
you couldn't use RF to destroy a Mylar balloon, I don't think. We'd have to be pretty
No,
impressive.
but it could be a wallop of a wide whatever. You might be able to shake it to bits. I don't know.
Do you really think it wasn't a case of the boys went outside, let a balloon go, and let's see if we can shoot it down? I mean, seriously, what were the odds of a balloon just having to pass overhead while these guys were looking at this guy? Oh, there, shoot that.
Going to make this my third and last pull up a sandbag story. Stood underneath the tower. Chap gets a crossbow for Christmas or whatever it was. He said, let's see how far we can fire it. Raises it up, fires it, shoots across the airfield, dinks off a helicopter on the other side of the airfield. So, yeah, the last one. So that, but that actually speaks very nice. Exactly the same thing. That's exactly what we would have done. What can we hit with this? That's exactly what we would have done. What can we hit with this thing? Oh, look, there's a toy. You've probably just solved it there, Bruce. You have probably exactly solved what happened.
I was young once, you know.
Were you?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Black and white days. Yeah.
Only briefly. The world was much narrower, and it was black and white. You're correct.
It was in 4:3. The whole world was 4:3.
And it had no sound.
No, that's right.
We just every now and then some words would come up.
There's a piano and organ playing all the time.
Everywhere you went, you had to tell a man on a piano. That's it.
There he goes. Yeah. Anyway, so what are we talking about? And Bruce actually, as he came on here, and he was discussing your great find that we spoke about today with the police video. I don't know if there's anywhere where you've got a link to what you've posted to that so far.
Yeah,
just go to X. It's everywhere.
As it is, you all over X.
Oh yeah, well, there's no room for any other post.
Elon will follow him now that Ian that he's getting.
Now he's in the drone business. Yeah.
I'll await with bated breath, and while I await with bated breath, I'll just go and just say about this Winter Array C6 certification, which in itself is cool and groovy, but this platform I think is becoming my idea of one to watch, especially if you're in America, because it's useful for mapping quite a big area, and I just think it's a better way of doing business for some jobs. And with the demise of DJI over there, I think it should be watched. I've seen the other version flying. I've seen how the yellow-billed kites just went to attack it mercilessly. But it's a very groovy thing. Come on, I'm waiting for your link. Oh, as you put it in the private chat. There we are.
Yeah, I'm very curious about this myself. I've been curious for some time. So, and I keep meaning to ask my contacts here who work there to have a demonstration so that we can have, because I mean we can't just go and buy them here. You have to, and they're quite expensive. They're about $20,000.
Yeah,
they're not
cheap. They are expensive.
It's not your kind of off the shelf. I mean, we have the workhorse, the Mavic 3 Enterprises, and so Simon's got he's got him, which is 4 and stuff. Those are the workhorses, and those are kind of off the shelf drones that you can go and get. So if they're really easy to get. So but with this thing, you have to plan, and it becomes an ecosystem as well. So you change everything. So it's quite a big. It's quite a big commitment, and it's
true.
It's like getting a new girlfriend.
Right.
Oh, okay. We'll defer to your superior knowledge on that one.
Exactly. Yes, I feel we.
Do you pay for this internet, Gary? It seems very slow. Your internet, isn't it?
Oh, don't. Yeah, don't. So, this
Mayor of London.
Oh no, found this.
Oh, this is a potential drone owner. They're just checking. Yeah.
Off it goes. Look
at that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at the quality.
He's amazed.
And he's going, look at the picture quality. Now, watch this shot that's coming up.
Oh, look.
Look
at the bottom.
On that drone.
That movement doesn't seem drone-like, though, does it, really?
No, and that wide shot then as well. I mean, some might almost think it was a helicopter. Almost. I mean, obviously, they wouldn't do such a thing, would they? Yeah.
Blinky lights.
Yeah, so this is justifying buying new kit, and they've used helicopter footage as part of that.
Yeah, if you click the other link, you can see the original helicopter footage. So I've tracked down the source clip they've used, which is at 11 months old at least.
11 months old.
Yeah, at least. So that's why I think it's got the analog look. It must, because obviously the MPAS records digital, but they must have what do you call it? I think they get a live radio link into the command center, so it must be their recording that they've. Here we go.
No, that's the old one.
Oh, sorry,
going through again. No, I just think they've dodgified it.
Links.
Now here it is.
Yeah, it's to give the it's what it's, you know, it's aspirational.
Was it from a TV program or something?
No, it's a YouTube link. It's the actual Mets PR, because you see the Met logo in the bottom right hand side.
Yeah.
Because I even wonder, it was a lot of the hood was cropped off, so it makes me wonder. I don't know. It's either because they were going for the aspect ratio 1-to-1, or it was deliberate to try and get as much of the helicopter off it as possible, so you wouldn't actually cotton on. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you caught them. You caught them bang to rights.
Not great though, in that I tagged immediately BBC reporter for it and that. And then the BBC London that's gone out in the evening has included that helicopter clip as though it's the drone. So they've even put that clip in already knowing that, or already being told that it's not a drone. So it's
but BBC Verify will pick this up and they'll retract it.
Oh, I even tagged BBC Verify as well within one of their reporters direct on Blue Sky, because obviously some of them hang out on Blue Sky these days. Because
you're on Blue Sky as well. Is it anywhere you're not?
No, not as well. Instead of, because they're too superior to be on X. So they knew. It's a shame that nobody actually picks up and challenges on that, because it should be a question of, well, excuse me, if the drone really has been used and been so successful, why can't you actually produce any video of the drone? The chances are it hasn't actually been used, and they're just trying to they're using it as a Trojan horse to scapegoating. Here's some more positive PR. Which is just a little bit disappointing, isn't it? You should be legit about your stories. I tagged MPAS in it anyway, so they can look at it and go,
oh, they'll chuckle. Yeah, they will chuckle. Oh, actually, linking, going back to the MPAS story, I've heard that the not MPAS, the NPC, back to their thing. I've heard that those danger areas might be mysteriously instantly going away in England. They might already have done, and nobody knows why. So that's quite interesting. I'm trying to find out why, but yeah, I've heard they've been pulled away. I'm trying to get to that, the other post, the thing you mentioned just before we came on air, because I assume you've been listening to that podcast here.
I have been listening to it, and in fact, whilst we've been chatting, I've been tapping on the keyboard. I've had AI doing a transcript and
of course you have
bits in it. No, it's just interesting again, because Leonardo have probably been a little bit careful, and obviously they put their blog out at the time of the Gatwick thing, saying that they'd been involved in sorting that all out and not detected any naughty drones. But they've just done a tweet this evening, and with an official there's the RAF's own podcast, so they're chatting to the RAF guys that actually operate the system. So there's a podcast there to listen to. So they're actually they're fully switched on. Who knows? Maybe even they watch the show because they are aware of the.
That's who's watching.
Cover on
somebody.
Yes, that's the one person.
Yeah, they cover about like the UAS that's in looks like a bird. So they're aware of like all the variations of drones you might get, the countermeasures against jamming systems, and they talk about obviously the Orca system, which we all know about anyway. But they also detail about a little bit about the European deployments where it was there was no kinetic countermeasures, which is a good thing. Although that's purely because you'll be operating in a foreign country, and again just operating as they do with the police in the UK, where they're under their command. So they were talking about like the first deployment was the UK Olympics in 2012, but saying it's now routine for any big event in the UK, there will be an AUKUS there. So stuff like with the royal family and whatnot, and sporting events. Including Eurovision, which does beg the question of why did the police close down the airspace so that commercial operators couldn't work at Eurovision when it's confirmed that AUKUS was there, so they had the cover they needed anyway. So that just adds another puzzling element, and if anyone was trying to work there, probably another thing if you got grounds to grumble.
Well, that's sort of long forgotten. Almost a couple of years ago now, isn't it, when that happened? And that also speaks to the operations around Aintree as well, doesn't it? And for various different other reasons, stuff has been going on there. But of course, the RAF, every time there's a problem, and they get called and things go away. Which is it's extraordinary, isn't it? There's an incident, call the RAF. Hello, no, nothing here, and then stories are made up. That's my take on it. So look, we've been through the stories that I've had.
I was just going to jump in with that as well and say that they do actually mention Lakenheath. They don't do it. They don't do any spoilers though. I mean, what's all that about? You do when you talk, and you don't even drop any little juicy bits in. They were quite careful because normally they talked about the individual sensors and what they do. And normally they will name them. So like the Ninja being the one that's the library base, but they just talk about the technology instead. So they'll say radar, RF, which we know is likely Metis and so on. But yeah, they did mention they got called out for that, but they didn't do any elaboration. But having said that, I did have to click through it because it's 30 or 40 minutes, and they only had about 10 minutes before the show. But it was still informative. So if someone doesn't know too much about counter-drone, you want to know about, it's definitely worth a listen. In fact, the RAF, this particular podcast is quite good every now and then. If this isn't the first time they've covered around drones, so if you want to kind of stay up to date with what's going on in more of a military sense or counter drone sense, it's definitely worth a listen.
Or you could just watch C-UAS.
You could.
The
industry's leading news source.
Or you could just get on Flyby's training course.
For Counter-UAS, yeah, I was going to go there as well. Yeah.
How much is the PayPal payment again for saying that?
What's that, sorry?
I think isn't it a little brown envelope or something? Isn't that how it works?
I think it's £100 in it.
We cannot do brown envelopes here in Finland. I'm afraid we cannot do that. It's
why don't they have brown envelopes?
No. Everything is above board here. It's above board here. Yeah, and I mean that's one reason why we chose or we were chosen. So we were asked to do this because of our lack of hype.
Corruption.
We're not really. Yeah, we're not really scaring.
Legitimacy
people.
Is the word you're looking for. Your legitimacy.
Oh, yes.
Your legitimacy. Yes.
Yeah. So and we're working with a lot of organizations that are having some trouble with drones, and we calm them down with it. So, but we know that they do have a problem, but we tell them the reality of it. So we don't scare them with it. But they do want to have a system. So they say, can you help us get a system? I say, yeah, okay, because these are going to be data centers anyway. So for the construction sites, and then they would just keep using them for the data centers, which for infrastructure, especially here in Finland, it's a big thing because they're all a little bit paranoid about the Russians and stuff, So yeah, it is a thing, but we don't we don't do the scary thing. We say that of course there is a risk, and you have to look after whatever it is. I mean, especially now because the shipyards here, the shipyards are going to start building the big icebreakers for the US, because they have the US has commissioned Finland to build, I think it's 2 big icebreakers, because we here they have the big ones here. So and that's just going to get built down the road here. So they've actually closed off that airspace as well. So that airspace has been closed off, and the company contacted us and said, we know nothing about this. And I was like, well, okay, we can teach you, and if you need a system, we can get you a system. Like, yeah, because we don't know what to do. So there's this kind of confusion with companies that they have to have a closed airspace for security, but they don't know how to deal with it. So again, there's a lack of education. So if they see a drone, they'll obviously panic, when most likely it's probably going to be a tourist who's going to be there, flying, because that's a big thing here. A lot of tourists fly and don't know where they should and shouldn't fly. Sure. So, but you never know, because it could be Russian spying. You just don't know. We can't say it's not, but most likely it's just some tourist trying to get some nice shots.
So why wouldn't you? Here's controversy. Why wouldn't you set up just a Counter-UAS as a service system? Just start putting your own sensor network on top of buildings and then sell these places. Okay.
We have been talking. In fact, we even discussed that today, actually. So of course it would require a big investment. But yeah, we have been talking about that, and then we just offer that service to anyone who actually wants to have it. But then
one of the things Richard from Altitude. Sorry, I jumped all over you there. I'll continue being rude. Richard from Altitude Angel was able to show me when I visited him there, was they quickly worked out pattern of life. And you say about hobby users using the things. They said, "Oh no, look, about this time they're down in those fields down there flying for fun, or they're over there other side of Reading doing this." They quickly worked out pattern of life, and I'm sure if you had your own sensors, you would be in the same situation where you could, you could say, "Oh yeah, that and change the probability." So it surprised me. It was very interesting.
Yeah, that I think that certainly when I was flying. I was flying in the city here a few years ago, and I was flying in one of the main restricted areas, which is right next to the President's Palace and the Prime Minister's office and the Bank of Finland, blah, blah, blah. And I had registered, everything was fine, but the phone call that I made to the police didn't go through to the right channels. And when there was a shift change, the police didn't get the note kind of thing. So they came to visit me to say, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I have permission, blah, blah, blah." So they went, "Yeah, sorry, you did fine, that's okay." They actually called me about maybe 2 hours later, and what they said was that drone you were flying there, that is your drone. And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, we will put it on the whitelist." And I'm like, okay. So they have the ability to put certain drones onto a certain list, so that they know that drone is okay, or that person is okay. And so of course I don't know the system that they had at the time. Maybe it was Aeroscope, and I think obviously that's now not being used anymore, or they can use it, but you don't get the updates and stuff. So, but we can do it. So I should have the SendHive system this week. I'm getting it delivered on Thursday, so I'll be playing with that, and we can do the same. So we can put the whitelists on there as well, so we can put certain drones, because we are planning to put it into certain places that we are flying, and I know there's lots of drones flying there, so I can put all the drones on the whitelist that are okay, so that I'm not going to get alarms if pretend that there's a drone flying, and if there's one that's not, the one that shouldn't be there, then we get an alarm. So
yeah. Situational awareness stuff. And I should have put this up. Has it arrived? There we are. There's new from February 19th. It's 2 days time in the UK. So more National Security Act prohibited places. So you're gonna have to keep a lookout for that if you're a UK flyer. It will be interesting. And I think, did this not come think it comes with more fines as well as per that other thing. So if you're in the UK, do watch out for that one in a couple of days' time. And I half wonder if that's the reason why those police danger areas are pulled, because there's going to be a load more danger areas for this. So people will be very upset with the world, but who knows? I don't know. I don't honestly know. So that's the sort of stories that tell the church steeple guard binoculars. This drone is okay. Okay, happy RC. Yes, you can do that. Yeah. What else has anyone seen this week? What have I not thought of now? Going once.
Oh, I saw someone complaining about changes to the regulations in Europe coming up because it was moving under, there was adding it to national security or something. They're bringing a new change into the way regulations are formed. Maybe Stephen knows something about that. I don't know.
The worst thing about this, just to jump in 1 second, is the fact that they're using what went on in 2025 that has been quite clearly debunked by us all, and with the security services themselves agreeing to the fact, the entire of Norway, they've admitted all those incidents were nonsense, and yet you've got it being cited to then bring in strict laws again. And this is all of it. It's drones must. There's all like getting around a conspicuity, and it's like, well, you've already got that with RID anyway. But they're saying the drone can't take off, I think,
unless they know who it is.
Yeah, which is basically, well, it's doing RID already, so it's already doing that. So it's all a little bit puzzling.
But the thing is, and what really gets me, and I have been vocal about this on social media. I've been saying that this is the European Parliament, which is the main body which is actually talking about this, and I don't know who they've been talking to. I don't know if they're talking to Eurocontrol. I'll find out next month, I'll find out in April when they come to Helsinki. There's a big Eurocontrol event for U-Space. I'll go there for a laugh, because it usually is. But who's feeding this information to them? Who's giving? Because
counter-drone companies that want money.
Yeah, but these people who are giving this, they have no knowledge of the industry. They've got no knowledge of the community. They have no knowledge about the technology, and if of course we do have RID, we do have remote ID, which is active here. So, let's say potentially it is already there. You've got counter-UAS systems, which are now, the hip thing, and all the companies are the share price is going up, blah, blah, blah. Should that not be enough? You've got the NATO projects going on where everyone's going nuts, and, I'm sure nothing will happen. But now you have the European Parliament saying this is what we're going to do, and we're going to change this, and you're going, really? Do you really have a clue what is going on? And I've asked, please put me on a panel with these people. Please, I will pay my flight. We'll go. Put me on a panel, and I'll challenge these people, because they're hopeless.
Well held. Whatever you were going to say there, well held. Very good.
I had to challenge a few on LinkedIn because at the moment I'm job seeking, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful of doing too much drone and stuff, because that's not really the sector that I'm looking for. Well, I would happily look for work in that sector, but there just isn't any of it in the north of the country where I live, so it's a little bit pointless. It's mainly financial services. And people interested in financial services aren't interested in counter-drone in Europe. So, but yes, I had to jump in on a few because you've got these warmongers, and the warmongers not just on LinkedIn. I see it on X. One of them represents Ireland. I don't know what is going wrong with Ireland, but it is just full of some completely nutty warmongering people that are just obsessed with putting kinetic shoot down capabilities in people's hands. And it's like, why? They're going, Russia. And it's like, why is Russia going to invade island that's not even part of NATO, that's doing nothing to upset Russia. It just doesn't make sense.
One of the headlines that was in one of these posts for the European Parliament is that Europe is under threat. That was the headline. Europe is under threat, and they've got a drone, right? The drone in the picture. Europe's under
hybrid warfare.
Under threat from what? The
big buzzword.
The only threat is these people. They're a threat. Because they are going to bring the industry down to its knees. By the way, if I can slightly change the subject here, just for the sake of Ian, there's a job here going at the CAA for the future airspace.
I have a feeling that I won't make the shortlist.
I read that article saying Europe was under threat. I gather France has already surrendered.
I've sent this to you, Ian. I've sent it via WhatsApp. Here you go. You got it now. So.
I'll have a nose just for comedy's sake.
Wouldn't it be good? What was that flipping filing system? The OneNote, the Microsoft system that you've caused all the trouble over.
SharePoint.
SharePoint. Yeah, you can be the SharePoint manager for them.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I've had a Freedom of Information back about that decision notice recently.
There you
go. With the Home Office, with the ruling being they are entitled not to acknowledge that they use SharePoint, despite the fact that it's written in black and white on their own documents, including the Freedom of Information process. They use SharePoint, so it's just the most comical decision ever. But I've just thought I'm just going to leave it because it's pointless. But yeah. All you have to do is go to LinkedIn and just read any of the staff's profiles, and you know exactly what systems they're all using. So it's kind of silly games we've got. So that's just the silliness of the UK Freedom of Information. But on the Europe thing, there was the Norwegian ambassador to Belgium. He's now following me on X. So I think it was me. It might have been Weber or someone that jumped on him as well. And to be fair, he did do to whoever the other person was. He did them I'm sure he did them a response that was polite. So he's obviously putting stuff with what people are telling him, which obviously, as Stephen's alluded to, it sounds like there's people telling these MP stuff that isn't true. But at least he did follow us on X, so he is reading what is being said by Joan people that are standing up and saying, "Well, hang on a minute, this isn't the way it's being presented." Because put the Norwegian one straight away, because that's brilliant by the fact that they, owned up and been straight. We're waiting on Belgium, which they don't want to, because it was their defence minister that was doing all of this to push for the counter drone. But I don't think they could hold on to it forever, because they were already rumbled by the it was their public broadcaster, wasn't it? That had done the investigation and said, look, it was, and they'd even admitted, oh yeah, it could have been a helicopter after all. But as we know, facts don't seem to be counting on it. There really is this. The trouble is, this is undermining the message, in my view, because people can see right through this. It feels like they're trying to looked at Gatwick and thought, oh, look at that, we can get away with it. But people have got smarter since. They can look at ADSB and understand it. They can look at what little video has been put out there and see it's not a drone. So to me, it undermines the entire credibility. And now anything that's trying to be hyped up and scared about Russia, I'm thinking immediately, how can I trust this? Because like they're doing with the ships again, it's like, sod off. That was Iran, it was China, and now you're saying it's Russia. You've actually had French special forces, and it's not just the French now. I think the UK's been involved, and America on others. Now, if they'd gone on those ships and they'd found a launch pad and a load of FPV drones all lit up like Christmas trees, the first thing they would have done is taken photos of those and go, look, we told you so. and we've not had any of that. So it kind of suggests that there was no jobs and they're not finding any. But the narrative is still being pushed. Let's be scared of everything. Really, it just feels like they're building up for war with Russia, and they're just doing everything to scare people, to have them on side. But you don't have to do that to have people on side.
I found a job for Ian.
Yeah.
Brand ambassador, Higgsfield AI.
Head of refunds.
It's a big job.
Yeah. I've got the email through today confirming, but I'm getting my refund. Although it'll be the bank that are losing the money. They can actually take action against Higgsfield to get it, but they'll probably just write it off with it being a couple of £100.
Can we do a quick survey in the last 5 minutes? We've all seen the AI generated movie that's on X at the moment with the blonde woman and the child and the whatever's going on. Do we think AI movies are going to be a thing, like a real commercially successful thing?
No.
I don't think so. I think it'll be a gimmick for a while.
I think the proper use for it.
It's like Ian with a camera. You can have the best tools in the world, but if you don't know what you're doing, you just get nothing.
You're mad. The way it'll come in is for doing adding some special effects in the stuff you've got already. The trouble is, it's not predictable, and as somebody pointed out, who's obviously got decades of experience in VFX in Hollywood, someone put this scene flying around this futuristic world. There was a Big Ben collapsing and all this, and he was like, yeah, but if you wanted to change one single thing in that scene, that 30 seconds you spewed out, it'd have to recreate that entire 30 seconds again, and it'd do a lot of random stuff completely differently for the second time round, and you can't do that when you're
but that'll change. You'll be able to set a context, and that will remain strict right through the whole thing. So you set up you describe the framework, and then you start describing the action. The framework will remain constant, like the buildings will remain the same, and the people will remain the same, the writing will remain the same. That's already starting to happen. I saw some pretty good AI stuff
on those lines. Yeah. They did a demo where painting on a wall with a roller, and you looked away and looked back, and it kept it in place. So there's definitely a degree of persistence there. I'm just thinking though, the cost in electricity and everything, and it's not cheap to generate these videos, because
$30 it cost that guy on X. $30 and 3 days, one of them.
Yeah, but he's not doing it. He's not doing everything you do in a film there. If you want, say for example, you go on 11 Labs, which is very good with the voices. So I went in there, and it's like you can get, they don't charge you much. It's only like a $5 for a month if you're doing voices, and you get quite a lot for that. But where I could generate voice after voice after voice after voice to put together, say for argument's sake, 3-minute video, and have loads of credit left over, and it'd roll over to the next month. If you try to then say, create me an avatar to voice that, so lip sync to it, that was basically enough money to eat up your entire month's credit almost in just one video. So it soon adds up. In fact, I've got Kling, and I've got that paid in advance, and I get monthly credit on that, and I still put in, and I'm doing something relatively straightforward. I've done something that's quite corporate. I've done it for my CV. I was doing what I'd done at my last job, and because I was just trying to explain it visually and with a voiceover, I just thought it's a bit more interesting than reading it in text. But I spent 30 quid on top of all the other money I've spent in the normal, to buy a set of credits and then buy them again to do something that lasts just 1 minute. So, that's 30 quid for 1 minute. And
yeah, you can go on Fiverr and hire a voiceover artist for that for $5 for.
Well, that's just purely for the video side of it. But it was just like, if I stuck a camera and just recorded myself and talked about it cost me nothing. So it's
But I suppose in some ways it's like when cinema came along and then TV and stuff, and people who had books must have said, well, this is never going to replace books. I mean, there's no way. I mean, when there's a proper storyline in the future, then maybe they will make money and work, and they're very clever. But
yeah,
I think
just another way of telling stories. But you got to have a good story to start with. You see that thing on X, because it was that fast jet guy. What did he say? Something along the lines of, they said that CDs. Yeah, they said CDs would never replace records.
Yeah.
But look, with 2026, vinyl has made a resurgence.
No, my argument to that, I saw someone using that again today, but then I said, but CDs was replaced by MP3, which was inferior. So your replacement isn't necessarily an improvement, which is what I was getting at. Because that analogy was kind of suggesting you've got
AAC and AC3 and all these other high performance codecs.
It's only FLAC, which is really a decent one where it's kind of lossless.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to aviation.
What FLAC? You're over the target if you're taking
exactly.
FLAC. Yes,
size is everything.
I'm going to jump in for 1 second with the ion as well. Point out that 30 quid, that was doing 3-second clips each time, and aiming where I could. Sometimes it stopped me doing this, but I was trying. Most of it was 720, so you're not even talking 4K. So if you tried to do that in 4K, you'd be looking at doubling, tripling, quadrupling that amount of money for something short. So if Hollywood was doing something, if you were trying to do something where you're saying it's 2 hours long, that's still going to, that isn't something an individual's churning out unless they're making a lot of money. I mean, really, what you've seen is some people admitted to it. The reason we're getting all this AI video put out there is it's people, they're profiting off it. So you're profiting off it for two reasons. Some of the AI firms are paying people to actually put it out, to flog their services, and more suckers come on board paying money to generate the video. But it's the engagement. So if you're getting those millions of views on X or Instagram or YouTube, especially, I mean, you'll know, Bruce, just how much money you've got and all those cars you can buy with the money from YouTube.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Really, all it's about is saying spam this out. People watching it, gets the millions of views, and they're just laughing all the way to the bank, because by the time that's happening, as I say, companies are paying them, so it probably isn't even costing them a single penny to generate the video. So that's your living, is just trying to con the rest of the world into believing that AI is the future. They don't care. They don't care. They're just making money in the now. But that's why there's a lot of upset that's been happening in the last few days, because there was the kickoff with is it Seed Dance or whatever it's called, which has ripped off all the Hollywood imagery and the threats of the legal action. YouTube's immediately thought, we best just delete anything from our current user base that's using Star Wars and the Marvel characters. So you've got people that have been doing years of churning this out, and their channels have been deleted overnight.
Oh, wow.
So they're all crying
the
about
joys
it.
of YouTube.
Well, a lot of people on social media, they've got no sympathy and say, well, the only reason you were doing it was because you were engagement farming and you were just lining your own pockets with money, and that's all it was ever about.
But AI will probably take over storyboarding. Instead of having those sketches and things, just do an AI storyboard, and you got, present that to your.
I would suggest that there'll be, with AI video generation stories, or I would suggest there'll still be some youth in a dingy bedroom that comes up with an amazing story that animates it by hand, and that'll go a lot further and feel like.
Oh no, the AI's got you.
It doesn't matter. Whatever I think doesn't.
Censorship strikes again, eh?
Yeah, there you go. They knew I was onto it. They knew I was onto it. Did you hear? I was a youth in the bedroom make it hand drawn.
Someone animated it themselves.
A lot of those animation channels have been canned by YouTube as well. Hand animation channels have been canned as well.
Why?
I don't know. No one knows. Everyone's going, what's going on? Like they're just going through with a very broad brush using AI to identify what they consider to be AI slop and just getting rid of it. And of course, a broad brush doesn't always stay on the lines.
Yeah, well, funny enough,
why haven't they identified us? We're just slop. We're not AI slop. We're just
not AI.
slop.
There's no intelligence here, so we're safe.
No, exactly. We're just slop.
There's a lot of anger as well because Deez has been doing this with music. They've been deleting everything with AI, but the problem is, and then this is the whole blag about them, which is where noise. But when people, the thing, right? This is I'm going to go on a mini rant.
Never mini.
You on a mini rant?
Yeah. Music producers wind me up because it's mass hypocrisy. So people that have been in the music production industry for years, they've been copying the software. So they're all ripping off the software, ignoring the copyright for that. That's why, annoyingly, you've got to have. So I've got to have, from all my plugins, I've got to have an iLock bleeding dongle to be able to use any of my software. None of the video software requires it, only audio software, because people in the audio industry keep ripping stuff off. And then not only are they ripping off all the plugins,
but this is happening in the drone industry now as well. Everyone's copying everything from Ukraine. So all the drone all the drone operators who are trying to copy all the stuff from NATO, it's all stuff from Ukraine. It's the exact same thing.
The point I'm making though is at least they're not literally ripping off, stealing actual people's stuff. So that's stealing software that they've had to do that. And then you go and you ask any of these musicians, are you willing to pay for a music video? It's like, no. Can't you just rip this off YouTube, rip this off here, put it together? Or I'll just get some free stock and slap it in. So it's like, they're always like, don't steal the music, don't use AI. But when it comes to them, it's, oh, give me the software, give me the video. And it's like, come off it, you hypocrite. So anyway, but the funny thing is, that makes it even more hypocrisy, is for quite a while now, there's actual AI in the music production tools. So there's like Cubase. It's now, so you can literally get your keyboard and you can play the melody, and then you just type on your keyboard the words, and it brings out an AI session singer. And you've even got session guitarists, session pianists that are all AI. So in fact, they've been using AI tools, putting it in their door, and then saying, I've made this, and how dare you use your AI over there, stealing our industry. So the funny thing is, because they've been using all these AI tools, Deez has gone through it. It's nuked all the stuff that is genuine AI, but all these people that have been using AI tools as well, they've all got nuked. So they're all crying. There's one guy that's been putting stuff up since like 1972, and obviously the stuff he's put up in 1972 definitely isn't AI. But because he used some stuff in like 2025, 2026, they've gone, no, we're just taking those tracks. We're just boom, you as an artist.
And you called that a mini rant?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
You're not going to be a brand officer for MTV, in that way.
MTV's over, mate. It's gone.
Yes,
closed down. Closed down.
They've been killed by AI.
There you go.
And I thought it was pretty cool that they closed down with Video Killed the Radio Star as they opened.
Yeah. Full circle.
They should have done AI though. Do the words and put AI killed the video star.
Did you see the video with Donald Trump doing that Flock of Seagulls track, Iran? Iran is so far away. Nope. it's really good. So those are some of the things I think AI is good for. That, like a mock-up music video with it's a parody of another song with famous people in it. That I like, and I watch those because it's not slop, it's music.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that was what someone was saying. This guy's channel, one of them that was crying, and I had sympathy for him. Was he had done Star Wars, but he had done music videos. So it was the Wham track with Anakin to Skywalker in this kind of love song, and it was actually generally quite funny. And there's all these people raging in the video effects industry, but I said, I'm sorry if I'm going to be unpopular here, but I actually think that's better than what Disney are putting out now.
Anything beats the latest Cinderella. No, was it Snow White? Wasn't it? Yeah, it was like. God.
Yeah,
Give us AI in preference to that.
I was thinking more of the Star Wars stuff, but yeah, I don't know if you've watched Alien. Is it? I'm trying to think what the latest Alien Earth. I mean, it started off really good, but by the end of it, the alien's more or less a pet. So
it doesn't work. So
they might as well sell you. They might as well sell you the cuddly toy. So the alien's not scary anymore. You've now got Predator Badlands, and then literally this was written on Facebook the other day, and this guy goes, "Oh, finally, I can watch a Predator film with my young children." I think, don't with that sentence. That's like going, finally, the Hellraiser film I can watch with the family.
But Ian, you are forgetting when Alien was released, the first Alien was released, there was actually toys that you could buy, even though it was an 18. There was toys that you could buy.
It's like Epstein nursery rhymes. Who's going to buy that?
There have always been the character things you can get, but they're not really toys. They're not cuddly toys that you go to bed with. And that's the point is now that it's like, no, please let these things be scary. So anything that's scary can no longer be scary. So all we're left with that is scary now is
we are the last bastion of scary.
Event Horizon is the only sci-fi that's left, and that's because it hasn't had a sequel.
I'm busy trying to prove a story because he mentioned Alien. I knew the bloke, the puppeteer that did the.
I'm going to say I don't know if I mentioned it other way, but the Blake Seven's getting a reboot, so I'll be interested to see what happens with that. I hope they don't completely break it.
They will, Bounty.
I can't believe it. Look, but
I'm sure that Blake will be a black woman or a black man that identifies as a woman, because that's the way they make them these days. What was that one? Queen Mary Scots was a woman of color. What was that recent one where they, period drama where they cast a woman of color as one of the leading characters?
Yeah, they probably will. Look, we've gone 15. We're 11 minutes over. 12 minutes. We've given that rant was 12 minutes worth of, and I know for this AI shorts that it's going to pick, that's what it's going to pick. I'll put my money on it that I'll be putting that up very shortly. Ian's AI short. Another strike on this channel, which so many of strikes.
It'll be for children only soon. You won't be able to leave comments or anything. Just have YouTube for kids.
I don't say what I say about the dear viewer. Anyway, dear viewer, we definitely time for us to wrap up. Thanks very much for putting up with us this evening. What was a very busy week on many fronts. Let's see if next week manages to be the same. Look after yourselves. We'll see you again at 2100 Gin and Tonic.